As part of the Celebrating Residential Childcare Conference, organised by the University of Huddersfield's Division of Social Work, the university's drama students were invited to produce a dramatisation of Jenny Molloy's book, Hackney Child. Here are a selection of those dramatisations.
I wouldn't say that I have to drink to have a good time. It's just part of going out and social.
Me and my dad haven't really had the best of relationships. He's a prison officer at the local prison, obviously, and
I came on shift about 7 o'clock and it was a really, really busy Friday night, full of all the usual regulars. And
my granddad died when my dad was 17, so that was university out the window, and he had to stay.
I had my first drink when I was 14 years old. It was my dad that actually gave it to me. I went and tried nicking.
The thing about my brother is, he now lives in a one-bedroom kind of studio flat, and he drinks. He's lost his job, and he's got no friends. And I really love my brother.
Yeah, he does bring the rough and tumble back home, but
I guess it just helps me to be more me, more myself, more confident.
one of the things you find in the pub trade is you do see a lot of alcohol-induced violence.
So he joined the police force, but he was still a child, so obviously he's still going out with his mates.
I have memories of him actually taking me to...
He's still, you know, drinking, but he's carried on those habits, and now he's nearly 50, and that would be fine. But heart attacks sort of run in our family.
It always managed to help, not help.
Don't blame it on the good times, blame it on the boogie.
Don't blame it on the sunshine, don't blame it on moonlight.
It was dark, and I'm feeling cosy and warm underneath a pile of party coats. The music is happy, not the sad music that we have at home. Laughter from downstairs. A good evening spent playing with other kids. Maybe we'll see them again sometime. I drift off to sleep under a pile of party coats, feeling safe and warm.
Can't control my feet. Fuck. What's that? Eh? What's that?
I wake up. There's no music. I think I can hear an argument downstairs. I can't hear my parents. Oh, please don't be fighting. Mum's always fighting. If I can't hear my parents, then who can I hear? I strain to hear their voice. She's not there. I come out from under the pile of party coats. I open the front door. On the landing, it smells of cigarettes, booze. The party smells like home. I sit on the stairs and listen.
So I was called into a house, and a neighbour had complained, saying that the parents had arguing over the night, but the mother then suddenly went upstairs and started yelling at the daughter, and this kept on going on for a little while, and then suddenly there was just silence. So I came up to the house, noticed in the recycling bin there were a few bottles of wine, not many, not enough to be like that, but not much. So I went into the house, everything looked nice and clean, nice and tidy, everything was how it should be, and there was plenty of food, so it all looked really well kept after. I started talking to the mum, and she said that she was concerned that someone had complained saying that what had happened, and saying that, yeah, they do drink, her and the father, but they only drink sociably and only one glass after work, as everyone does. So I didn't really see much wrong with that. I went upstairs, started talking to the daughter, who was on her bed, being nice and still, but still playing with her toys and everything. When I did ask her some questions, she answered them in an intelligent and really well-mannered for her age. So I didn't see anything of that. I was suspended a few weeks later, and a friend of mine took over the case. He found out that after I left that night, the mother came and started yelling at the daughter, saying how everything was her fault, how me coming was her fault, and telling her to get to bed. The daughter couldn't. She had a broken leg and couldn't move. The mother then just slammed the door in the daughter's face and grabbed herself a large glass of wine. Someone please tell me how I didn't see that. Please, someone tell me.
I love my little girl more than anything. She was the best thing that ever happened to me. I mean, obviously I'm a bit of a young mum, but her dad left before she was born, but we get on fine. I try my best. I mean, I'm up at 6 o'clock every morning, don't get to bed till 10 at night, and sometimes, you know, I just need a bit of time to wind down. I'm still young, I still like having a drink now and again. So I go around to my friends, and I'm not a bad mum. I mean, I wouldn't just leave my little girl with anyone. So I always take her with me so I can keep an eye on her. And yeah, I went to my friends a couple of weeks ago. She was having a bit of a do, and went round, and I was having a few drinks, and Alex was there, a guy I was seeing a few months back, and I didn't talk to him at first, but got talking to his friend Glenn on the sofa, and I mean, he was a thoroughly nice guy. We must have been talking for at least 40 minutes. You know, he was a laugh, and Alex came in the room and wanted me to go upstairs and talk to him, and you know, I spoke to Glenn, everything was fine. My little girl was like pretty content just on the sofa, so I went upstairs to speak to him, and yeah, I shut the door so we could have a bit of privacy, and I must have fell asleep, and I came down in the morning in a bit of a panic, but she's such a little angel. She was just asleep on the sofa, quiet as a mouse, and I scooped her up and took her home. And a couple of days later, one of the women that was at the party came round. I didn't recognise who she was at first, but she said she thought she should tell me that when I went upstairs to speak to Alex, Glenn tried touching my little girl inappropriately, and well, I couldn't believe it, but she said she was calling out for mummy, and obviously I wasn't there, and I just didn't know what to do. I mean, if I go to the police, they're not. I'll get blamed for being a bad mum and for bringing her with me, and I'm not a bad mum. I'm they'll take her off me. No one will love her as much as I do, and I don't think that I should be made to feel bad for just. I mean, I know that my little girl loves me, but sometimes you just need something a bit more, you know, just some love from another adult, just someone to hold you. And I'm not a bad mum.
I wouldn't say I've got bad parents. I wouldn't say that. It's just, it was my sister that brought me up, you know. My dad, he works 6 days a week, and my mum, well, she'd like a drink, while me and my sister were at school. So it was my sister, she'd get me up, she'd get me ready, make my dinners, make my tea when I got back. They used to argue, her and my dad. He'd come back from work and he'd want to know why the house was a mess, why his tea wasn't made, and why she was drunk. We used to go up to the attic as a means of just escaping. We'd play board games, we'd do anything just to try and block out the arguing. As I say, I don't blame them. I was really young. I was about 5 or 6. My sister was around 9. I do remember one time though. Dad comes home and they're arguing more than usual, and she's screaming at him. She's screaming, saying, "Go on, just kill me." And then social got involved. As I got older, I did resent them for not being there for me, but now I can understand. You know, she was lonely. She just wanted a drink. If it wasn't for my sister, things would have been a lot worse at home.
The University of Huddersfield, inspiring tomorrow's professionals.